This is one stinky meal that might scare everyone around you away, so that you can enjoy all this goodness by yourself. But first thing first, doesn't it look fancy? Actually, this is a very humble Vietnamese dish that doesn't have any pricey component at all, plus it could be put together very easily. Now let's talk about the culprit that might fool you that this only looks good but doesn't taste good. It's this fermented shrimp paste, which is salty, pungent, but makes everything that pairs with it unforgettable. You make the sauce by mixing the shrimp paste with lime juice and sugar. Now my whole house smells, but my mouth waters. Then prepare the boiled pork, fried tofu, and rice noodle. To make the noodle extra fancy, you can put it in a container. When it's still hot, press it down and let it form its shape for several hours at least. I also make these green sticky patties out of minced pork that I season and freeze for 2 hours. Then slowly blend until it turns pink like this. Add the greeny sweet rice flakes, steam and fry the paste. Now enjoy your smelly heavenly meal.
I wish you could smell the delicious aroma in my kitchen right now. The fragrance is so unique and distinctive. It's the smell of betel leaves. When cooked with meat, it magically makes it more tender and juicy. And good news is, it's not that difficult to find in Asian stores. So let's try out this recipe of minced pork wrapped in betel leaves. Choose betel leaves to be used as wrappers. The smaller ones are to be mixed with pork and shallots as filling, seasoned with salt and pepper. Now wrap the pork filling in the leaves. You can either fry or grill the rolls. I just choose to air fry them because it's the laziest possible way to do this. The result is of course less crispy or less smoky, but equally tasty. Coat the rolls with oil and air fry till the aroma of betel leaves fill the room. That's how you know it's done.
It gave my mom a headache every time she had to make us children eat healthy but boring things like fish. Before sushi got so popular and easily accessible, and before we willingly eat not just fish but raw fish, it's always the same play where we would complain and whine about fish for dinner, and my mom would keep putting more fish on our rice bowl before giving up at the end because of our sulking. It seems like frying and make that food less healthy was the universal solution for such problems, but this bowl of fish cake noodle soup doesn't seem to be much of a compromise. It's full of fiber and vitamins. The fish cake is chewy and not fishy at all thanks to all the refreshing veggies and herbs. Vietnamese egg rolls and summer rolls are already well known internationally, but can you believe that none of those is my favorite out of all the rolls Vietnamese cuisine has to offer? In fact, I could have steamed rice rolls every day, especially for breakfast. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to make them at home because I neither have the right tools nor the skill. To make this dish to perfection, you need a special kind of pot to steam the rice flour batter. Then I guess a lot of practice to get the rice wrapper as thin as possible. And no matter how many recipes I try out, I can never get the authentic flavor of this dish right. Maybe that's why it's not so easy to find this outside of Vietnam. But since I love this so much, I still attempt over and over to replicate the dish at home with just a normal pan and ingredients I could find in Germany, well aware that it's nowhere near the real deal. The filling contains of minced pork, onion, fungus, shiitake mushroom, and spring onion. To make the rice wrapper, I use a store-bought flour mixture, then add water, oil, and salt. As for the egg wrapper, I add well-beaten eggs into the batter. Prepare the dipping sauce from vinegar, sugar, fish sauce, and water. Then serve with Vietnamese cinnamon pork paste. Now this is my happiness. So simple, right? What is this plasticky looking thing? It's nothing out of this world. You might even be well familiar with this. It's rice paper, and this is my vegetarian version of rice paper salad. You'll need, of course, rice paper, the type that is thin and elastic. When in doubt, just use the kind that you would normally use to make summer rolls. Chili and some unripe mango to add crunchiness and a bit sourness to this dish. A must is definitely fried garlic and spring onion onion oil that you could make in seconds. Here I have some laksa leaves or Vietnamese cilantro that gives this dish the one-of-a-kind fragrance and taste. The authentic version of this dish requires shrimp chili salt like this, but just replace it with normal chili salt. Other toppings to add would be roasted peanuts, quail eggs, or just eggs, fried onion. Now just mix all ingredients together. It's best to put them in a bag and mix, or else the rice paper strips will just fly everywhere. The texture of this is much more chewy than summer rolls. It's definitely not hard or plastic tasting like its appearance. You might just keep eating this until your bowl is empty. You want a quick and healthy meal? This is for you. This recipe makes fish less fishy by incorporating lots of herbs. Just marinate your fish with all the seasonings for 15 minutes, then fry it and add even more herbs. Boil some vermicelli noodle, and now enjoy!